both of them. Okay, and we just click OK. So as you can see, both of them are marked as number 1 in the tool, but they're different, right? One says drill and the other says flat. Okay, great. We click OK, and in our case, for the drill, we need to select the right one. So we'll select this one, drill. Okay, it has to say drill here and the drill bit. Coolant disabled because we don't use coolant in the CNC router, and all these parameters are just imported from the drill bit database. Okay, which we just configured earlier. Then we click here, and basically the whole mode, it's the selected faces, right? And we can click here, select the same diameter. So if I just select one of them, all the holes that are the same diameter will be selected automatically, which is preferable to be selecting 100 or 1,000 holes at the same time. All right, so we click here, select the same diameter, selected faces, everything else we just leave it as it is, and then here where it says nothing, we just basically go and select this one, and as you can see, all of the other diameters which are the same are automatically selected. So we have the tool, we have the geometry. Don't change this tool orientation, it does it automatically. And then the height, basically the clearance height, as you can see here, is a safety point here before the drill bit goes down to our pieces. We just leave it at 10 millimeters. Retract height from stock top, which is 5 millimeters. It's this green line here. Feed height, bottom height, and then here it says drill tip through bottom. So as you can see, right now only the tip will go here, but it will not go through all the sheet metal, and we want to have it all the way through. So if we click here, you can see it change, right? So this is what we want. And finally, the cycle type, we'll just put a let's leave it at rapid out, and that's it. We just click OK. Sorry, and there you go. Basically, we have now our first operation, and what we need to do is to simulate the operation and just basically be aware if it's working correctly or not. So we select the operation, we go and right click and go to simulate, right? And a new screen for the simulation appears. So in this case, we want to see the tool. We can see the flute, the complete holder or the shaft. You can see it here on top, but we don't want to see that because it's basically not worth it. So we just stay with the flute. Okay. We want to see the tool path, and then we also want to see the stock. Remember, we defined the stock previously, so we want to see the stock. Be sure to have it here as 3-axis only, and then material ceramic. Okay. Now once we have this, we will have the info. So we'll say we'll see everything. The spindle speed, remember 3000 RPM, feed rate rapid. The drill, this is the tool that we'll be using, which is okay. It will take 1 minute and 25 seconds. And then, well, the machine, it's unknown for these guys. And basically this is it. And the statistics, again, the machining distance that the drill bit will travel and the time it will take for the machining. So once we have it, we can click play here in the simulation, and we'll see basically what it will do, what's the tool path, and what's the order of the holes, which looks quite all right. And we'll leave it like that. So again, we can click play. If we want to have it in a slower motion, we can reduce the speed here, or in a faster fashion, we can have it around here. Okay. I don't know. Okay, there we go. One after the other. You see? So yeah, the yellow lines are the toolpath, and all the way it's going to be drilling. So once we're happy with it, we click close, And this is the first file we need to export. All right, so once we have it, we basically go into the next stage. So we started with the setup, then the drilling operation, and then we go to simulate, right? Already did that. And the final action is the post process. So we have our setup, we click it, and then we click here in post process, right? And this is the new screen that will appear, right? So here, source, generic post processor, be sure to click this one, box C, GRBL. There are several types, right? And after playing with mostly all of them, we knew that this was the right one. And then the program number, this is the same that we had before, right? And well, here in the program comment, we can click 3 operation, right? We leave the document units as the units and open the NC file in editor. Okay, properties, we just leave it as it is. If it's different than this, just be sure to have it exactly like that. Okay, like this: sequence number increment 1, start sequence number 2, use sequence number, write machine. Just have everything as this table here. And once we're fine with it, we just click OK, and we just define where to save it. I'll save it in desktop. This is the number of the program, and save, right? And this new this editor will appear. If you don't have it installed, don't worry. Let's say you don't have it installed. In my case, this is just to make my life easier. But if you don't have this one, which is called brackets, I'll just close it, and I'll just go to the my desktop, right? So here it is in my desktop. This is the file, and I just on Mac, I just click right click and say open with text edit. Okay, just look for text edit, and it will open the file. Okay, so this is so far what we have, and I just need to change some stuff here before translating this to the machine. But before I do this, I need to see your simulations. Okay, so have it like this, and this will be your first file. All right, now let's go to the coding operation. So we already have the first file. Let's go back to Fusion, and let's put the second operation here. So the second operation, it's a 2D operation because it's just going to be moving in 2D, and it's a contour, what we want, right? Because basically we're cutting the contour of the pieces. So we just click here into the contour, right? And obviously we cannot use the drill bit for this, so we have to change the tool to flat. All right, so we select the flat tool, and here it says it's a 3.17 millimeter tool. Okay, again, coolant disabled, and all these properties are already imported from the database we just changed before. Right, let's just go again now to the second part, geometry, right? And we need to select the contours. Okay, now basically when we get closer, we do want to cut this, but we don't want to cut the contour from the top. We want to cut the contour from the bottom. Okay, so be sure you select the contour from the bottom. You can see this is the bottom contour here, and then this one, and this one here, and finally this one here. Okay, so the 4 contours, we already have them selected. Great. And this, just leave it as it is, and we need to add some tabs so they don't go flying away. Okay, remember, in Fusion, when you don't know something, if you just leave your mouse there, there will be a small screen explaining what that means. Okay, so we want the tabs, right? And we just click here in tabs, and basically we go to tab shape rectangular, tab width. Okay, this is okay, and the tab height 0.79. Let's make it a bit smaller. How about let's say 0.5 millimeters. And now the tab position, I can put it wherever I want. So let's just go to top view of this, and I'll just select the tab positions. So let's just say I want one here and here, and then here and here, and just with 2 tabs for each part should be enough. And just like that. Okay, they don't have to be perfectly aligned or anything. And then after that, we just go to the next part, heights. So these heights are the safety positions. These are okay, 10 millimeters, 5 millimeters. The feed height again, top height would be basically here where my mouse is just right now. Okay, should be stock top, right? So the top height should be the stock top, and the bottom height should be the selected contours, which are the bottom height, right? There we go. Then the passes here, tolerance, just leave everything as it is. And let's just click here where it says multiple depths. And the maximum roughing step down should be less than 1 millimeter. Let's just say 0.5. This is very important. You have to put 0.5 here, because if not, the tool will go down a lot, and we don't want the tool to go down all the way. Okay. Finishing step down 0.2. That's okay. And that should be it. And these ones here, we just leave it as it is. Okay. And then we click OK here. And as you can see, we now have our cutting path, okay, our tool path. Then we just go and click this one, simulate, okay, right click, simulate, tool, just the flute, tool path. Again, this is my stock, so I can see what's actually doing to the material. And I click start the simulation, and I'll see what's doing, right? So you can see first pass, the second pass, and then a final pass, and you can see here it's already removed the base of the material, right? And you can see it left the tabs here, so they don't fly, the pieces don't fly away, and we basically have the these ones for removing manually afterwards. There we go, and we can see the info. It should take about 11 minutes, more or less, because, well, it's taking its time. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and well, we can see it made what we were expecting. So we close the simulation, and now before exporting the file, we need to click the drill, which is the previous one. This is assuming that it will drill and then automatically change the tool, and then it will cut them, but it's not going to be like that. So the drill, we have to put the drill bit manually, and then we change it manually and load the new program. So these two, instead of being just one program, need to be 2 different programs. So we exported the post-processing code only for the drill before, and in this case, since we only want the 2D contour, we need to suppress this one, right? So we right click where it says drill, and we click suppress, and we click yes. It's gonna tell us a warning, but it's okay. And then the only thing that's gonna be left is this one here. So we click again with the setup and post-process, right? And it's the same. Now we will have to change the program number, let's say 3334, so we know it's after the 33, and we can select here coding operation, right? And that's it. We click OK, and it's going to be saved with a different name. Again, in applications, we click save. Okay, forget about this editor, and let's go here and check the 2 files, right? So the first one is 33.3 and 3334, and as you can see, they're quite different. So they start with a different name, drilling operation, cutting operation, right? And as you can see, this one has only 55 lines of code, so it's quite easy. But this one here has many lines of code. Okay, 2030 lines of code. So obviously it's two different processes, and let's leave it just like this. These are